Hello, hello, hello. Alright, you guys ready? You guys ready? Are we ready? Man, I don't know. Man, I don't know. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious me. Hello, hi, it's me. What up? It's me, ya boy. I haven't really washed out. Oh well. Oh well. Don't care. So we're gonna talk about and review this video titled An Honest Conversation with Pirate Software. And I don't envy this, but just a heads up, this is long. This is long. This is a 4-hour video, and you know, as somebody who's done stuff like this, like these kinds of conversations before, they do take this long. So I certainly don't begrudge. I certainly don't begrudge the fact that this is 4 hours long, 3.5 hours. These kinds of conversations take this long. They take this long to have, and it's hard. It's hard to get people who are so defensive, to open up. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But let's just get into this. Let's just do this quick. Let's just start. Let's just start. Also, you guys will probably know that I've also criticized Pirate Software in the past. A lot of it before most of the blow up. I believe my initial criticisms that were like on YouTube that I talked about were from before he roached in World of Warcraft. I believe, just for context. Personally, I criticized him, like, you know, like in the Discord, or like talked about it vaguely, but not like in video format. But all right, let's go.
Push. Welcome to another Healthy Gamer GG stream. My name is Dr. Alok Kanoja. Just a reminder that although I am a medical doctor, nothing I discuss on stream today is intended to be taken as medical advice. Everything is for educational and entertainment purposes only. If y'all have a medical concern or question, please go see a licensed professional. So today we're going to be
a reasonable disclaimer.
Talking with Thor, Pirate Software, and I understand, I don't know the details, chat, but I understand that there has been some drama. I saw that there was drama. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I think we're going to be talking some about that.
Okay, that's a bit of a problem. That's a little bit of a problem. If you're going to, I'm gonna be charitable, and I'm going to assume that this was already scheduled, and then shit happened, and this guy hasn't had time to catch up on everything that's happened before the interview. So putting that ahead of time is fine. Like, I get that happens. I'm gonna make that assumption. However, there's something called like negligent coverage or like lazy coverage. And if you're gonna go into an interview with somebody who is controversial or who is being problematic, or there is a bunch of quote unquote drama surrounding them, you need to know what that is. And, like, a lot of the drama around Pirate Software isn't new. The biggest new one is, like, the stop killing games stuff. But, like, the issues with people criticizing his voice and his second puberty claims. The issue of him claiming credit for solving puzzles and saying that people had doxed somebody that were just untrue statements has been around for a while. The roaching, the litigious nature of some of the stuff that Pirate Software has done has been going on for like a few months. His defense of Osmongold's racist bullshit. So, you should know some of this stuff at the very least, and like, it's not hard to understand the stop killing games issue. It's very cut and dry, and it would take like 30 seconds to find out. So, I'm gonna be charitable and sort of just assume like that's what he's referring to, but I am just noting this.
I mean, I don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about whatever Thor wants to talk about and whatever I feel like talking about. But I think that there's been some stuff that's been going on, and it kind of feels like one of these like elephant in the room situations where If we just like pretend nothing happened, it feels like super awkward.
Then, if you acknowledge and admit that, then why would you not look into it so you knew what you were talking about? How can you not know and also know and then decide that, well, we have to talk about this thing I don't know anything about because it's really important? I'm being too critical.
But I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Like, I don't really follow like streamer drama very much. But yeah, whatever happens. So we're gonna see. We're gonna just
what you want to have an honest conversation with Pirate Software, but you don't follow streamer drama, but you know it's an elephant in the room and you have to talk about it, but you didn't look into it ahead of time. Can I be done? Can I go home? Are we done already? Like, why are we here? Why would you undermine yourself like this? Why does this feel like hedging, all of the hedging of all of the bets about everything? Oh no! Here's the other thing. The drama, quote unquote, around Pirate Software right now and like quote unquote other streamers, again, maybe I'm wrong, but from my understanding, he's talking about the Stop Killing Games stuff. The Stop Killing Games isn't streamer on streamer drama. It's Thor directly misrepresenting a political move, a political submission to change the laws that surround the game industry and consumer protection. So same with, like, for example, Louis Rossmann, right? Louis Rossmann wants there to be changes to litigation surrounding right to repair. If a big YouTube, and like, for example, if Louis Rossmann was like, hey, I need a bunch of signatures for this thing to enable right to repair, and then, I don't know, Linus Tech Tips misrepresented what Louis had put out, and Louis was like, hey, no, this is wrong. And then other streamers were like, hey, yeah, no, Linus Tech Tips is wrong. That's not what this is about. It's not streamer drama. This is litigation and politics. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is not a good start. This is not a good start.
It's usually been a great conversation that people have enjoyed. I understand that a lot of people are unhappy with him, more unhappy, so we're going to just figure out what's up with that. As always,
listen, if this guy doesn't want me to laugh at him, he should have a little bit more confidence and maybe actually put in like 30 seconds worth of research so he knows what he's talking about when he goes in to do an interview. God damn it. Oh no. Oh, maybe you know what? Maybe he's gonna do a good job. Maybe he's gonna do a good job, even though he doesn't know what he's talking about, but he knows what he's talking about, but it's all just drama, but it isn't drama. He doesn't do drama. He's better than that. Oh no. Oh no.
We are, we try to be like compassionate and understanding. That doesn't necessarily mean we're non-judgmental. Right, so that's not one of our key values, but our values are to be authentic and compassionate and recognize that, like, people sometimes struggle, sometimes make mistakes, sometimes have
mistakes, like going into a conversation and not knowing what the main issue is. That sounds like a mistake to me. Oh no. Oh no. Who would bother to look into the thing that they're discussing before they go and discuss it to 2.9 million people? This has 957 views. How did anybody get further? I just want to get to the interview.
stuff going on. So we try to be as like understanding of that as we can. And I'd ask y'all to be like as understanding as you can. And before we hop in with
Oh yeah, he's talking to his live chat. Like, live chat, don't bully Thor while you're here. Yeah, okay, fair. I respect that.
Or let's, and we just do that for everybody, right? That's not like, it's not like he's getting special treatment. That's just what we do here. So we've added, we have a quick update to our Mental Health Awareness Month calendar. So I'm going to just show you all this real quick. So we did Mr. Who's the Boss yesterday. Really loved that stream. Thor, Pirate Software is today. We're adding one memberships lecture for those of you that don't know, in October of 2023.
Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead.
We start that on the very Day. Friday to that, and an awesome community challenge going on right now in May. So we usually do this like every May, where we'll have like a pretty big community challenge, and so. This one is pretty cool. So it's in case of crash out, break glass. So it's actually like a resilience challenge. So the whole point of this month's community challenge, which y'all can, it's absolutely free, y'all can join on Discord, is we're going to be like, in case of emergency, break the glass. So in case of the world falling apart, like what are the skills that you need to develop? How do you cope? So there's going to be a community challenge where people will like, we'll give you all tasks and stuff like that. In the past, we've done things like touch grass challenges, which was awesome, which is like people going out and like doing things in the world. So things like meditating in a park, like meeting up with friends.
Go outside. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, doing stuff to help build your community and help your community be healthy that's cool. Sounds good. I don't know how I don't know this channel, so I'm not gonna judge. Sounds a little bit shallow, but he's claiming to be a professional, so I'm not part of the community, so maybe there's more to it that like the community engages in, but I don't care about this. I don't need mental health, I'm a disaster. Oh my god. Are we good? Oh, he's got tech issues. There he is. Okay.
Very nice. No, I think fix this.
I think I got mine. Did we do it? Okay.
Kind of.
Okay, sweet.
I'm trying to fix it on my end.
Okay, well, it's working for me, so that's all that matters in life.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Isn't that what you've learned from being on the internet recently?
Yeah, definitely. That's how it works.
Is that if it works for someone, that's all that matters?
It's all that matters. Yep.
Yeah, so how you been, Thor?
It's been rough.
Yeah, I hear that. So I don't really follow much of, internet drama. So you want to talk about what's been going on, or you want to
I find dismissing things, I find the term, when issues come up, I find using terms like, oh, I don't really follow internet drama, like phrases like that, dismissive. But, like, it's dismissive by nature, right? It's like, oh, well, it's not important because it's happening on the internet and it's drama, and it's like, and I don't really follow that. And it's like, this is not a good approach, particularly when you're talking to the person under fire, right? So right now, like, the person in the hot seat is Thor, right? Thor's the one under fire right now. He's the one being attacked, or he's the one being criticized, or he's the one who's in the hot seat, right? He's the one who's you're talking to, and you're dismissing his experience. Like, let's say you're pro Thor, right? You're dismissing what he's going through. He's telling you, oh, it's not great, and he's like, well, I don't really follow internet drama. Which is, not great. And then also, again, this isn't about, like, streamer versus streamer pissing contest. This is litigious. There's an issue with being litigious. There's an issue of deception. There's an issue of weaponizing ferrets, I guess, like the ferret protection thing that he supposedly runs. Like, oh boy, goodness gracious me. Again, Stop Killing Games is specifically a political, an attempt to change the political landscape for consumer rights. So I find it odd and dismissive and rude and misrepresentative to call it internet drama. Particularly if you admit you don't know what's going on.
Like, not talk, which is like totally fine.
I don't even know where to start with it.
What's going on?
I think recently I've actually been dealing.
So I would now like to point out that we are now looking at a scenario where this guy is Dr. K is now coming into this but with a bias of taking in only Thor's side and description of what's going on. Now that's not to say that that's impossible and you can't do that. There are ways to go about doing that where it can be appropriate. But I just want to be clear that that's what's happening.
Dealing with the ferret rescue. So I guess we could start with that because it's
okay.
more recent stuff.
What did I just say about the ferrets? God damn it.
We had, and this kind of ties back into it too. So we had 2 deaths in the rescue this last week, which is rough, and like, I'm finding, because we're at about 60 ferrets now, we hover around 60, and we lose about 1 to 2 a month because it's a rescue, and that's kind of how it works. You get animals in that are really messed up, really bad position, and that's kind of how it goes. And I'm finding that I can't emotionally connect with every animal. You just can't do it. It's not humanly possible to do that because you're going to lose them, and you can't like absorb that at all times. It's not like a healthy thing to do. And I've been going through that through like the last couple of them, but the last one really messed me up because it was Ghost, and Ghost is she was one of the first rescue ferrets, and this animal was like physically abused badly originally. And when I went to go pick her up, she was like one of the first ones that I went to go pick up. Normally they'd give you in like a carrier, and the person's like all excited, and they're like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I feel bad. I feel like a bad person." You talk to them about it, and then they give you the animal, and there's like crying and whatever, right? And then you take the animal, and then they want to reach out and know how they're doing and everything like this, because it's usually a person surrendering because they just can't take care of them. This one, I go to the house, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to pick her up," and this person just did this. And like handed this ferret to me like this, and it's covered in shit, like just feces all over the body. And I'm like, "Do you have like a carrier?" And they're like, "Nah." And emaciated, covered in feces, ear mites, visible ear mites. It was awful, and it was just she's scratching herself. She had like it was bad, dude.
Oh my god.
Take her to the vet, and we fix her up, and then we find that she is deeply afraid of other animals. She can't be near other ferrets at all whatsoever. Anytime you put her near one, she freezes, and then she bite them.
I don't understand what we're doing. I'm sorry you had some ferrets die in your ferret rescue. I guess. I'm not a fan of when somebody... The first thing they do in an interview that is about an issue to immediately obfuscate it with this appeal to if you say, "Hey, how you doing?" You say, "Hey, not great." "Oh, what's going on with you?" "Oh, we had some ferrets die at the rescue, and I was really close to one of these ferrets because they were one of the first ones, and they were in really bad shape when we got them." Fine. Still not the biggest fan of that as an opening. the first thing we're hearing about. But if you come to me or you post online and you say, "Hey, we're gonna have an honest conversation with this person, and we're gonna talk about this internet drama," and then this person immediately just trauma dumps about their pets, I'm gonna stop them. I'm gonna be like, whoa, hold on, yeah, we get it. Like, okay, we're not like, are you okay to be doing this interview right now? Then, like, you gotta pump the brakes on that. Because now you're just, it's almost nefarious. Like, Thor was in the back listening to what this guy was saying and what he wanted to talk about. He knows what this conversation is supposed to be about, and the first thing he does is claim that these ferrets dying is looped into the drama that's going on. How? Because you're not in a good mental state and it's one of the things that is just, like, adding on? I mean, I guess you could say that. It's not a great starting point. You know what I mean? It's not a great starting point if you're having an honest conversation. I mean, it's fine to be like, hey, I'm not in a good emotional state. All this shit's going on, and on top of that, my pet died. Like, yeah, that sucks. Your feelings are valid, but they're not necessarily relevant. And, like, did I not just say weaponizing the ferrets? Did I not just say that? There's a tweet out there where Thor, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up so you guys can see it. Because it's like, it's gross. And again, it's not to say that, like, his feelings don't matter. Like, fair. Like, it sucks that but you run a rescue. Like, these things happen. And yeah, he's right, you're not gonna get emotionally attached, and you can't get emotionally attached to every animal you bring into a rescue, because that's gonna burn you out. But how is that tied to you getting criticism on the internet for Stop Killing Games? Let me see if I can find the stupid tweet about ferrets. Yeah, oh, it wasn't a tweet. Sorry, I got that wrong. It was a post. Here it is. For the people in the back who don't get it, you know where this road of attacks and well poisoning ends? It ends with shutting down company and firing everyone if they manage to poison enough people. It ends in no longer being able to support ferret rescue. Unless I can snag a job that supports it. People think that this is some ego trip. Fuck no, I have people to take care of. The ferrets, man. You can't hide behind ferrets. If you care about the ferrets, hand it over to somebody else and make it a charity. There you go. You want to keep the ferret rescue going? That's what you do to keep your ferret rescue going. If that's the thing that you care about and your PR is so bad that it's going to harm the ferrets, then you should be putting the ferrets first. Stop fucking blaming everybody else for whatever's going on with the ferrets. The fact that it's the first fucking thing. Oh my god. He fucking talks about it like, oh yeah, ferrets die, it's part of it, it's, you know, as if it's not a big deal, and then goes into like this big fucking trauma dump.
And immediately pee and poop, which is not a normal response for a social animal. It's like very clearly something has gone wrong. She came from like some kind of an abusive household situation. We've never seen a ferret do that ever. And I worked for, I want to say, God, it's got to be, it's like 2 years now. It had to be like 2 years of working with this animal every day, trying to like get her to integrate with the others, and she never would do it. But she was just so sweet, and I just played with her every day because they need kind of social interaction. And
how did she respond to humans?
Great, totally fine with humans. She was afraid of being picked up at first.
I wonder how true that claim is about playing with this ferret every day. Because am I wrong that Thor streams like an incredibly large amount of hours? if you were to do the, like, if somebody, so I'm not gonna do it, if somebody were to, like, do the math on how many hours he has to spend sleeping, how many hours he's spending streaming, and then how, like, what time in between is left for this ferret, that, like, I mean, or, like, you could scrape his streams to see if he's actually playing, like, if he's playing with the ferret on stream. Right? Like, which is possible. Like, I don't know. I'm noticing that Thor just kind of lies. You know what I mean? Like, just passively just makes shit up. And it's like, oh, I play with this ferret for hours every day. And it's like, what hours? What hours do you have left in your day? And I'm not trying to be petty, but, like, at the point of, I feel like this is, like, a point of no return thing, where it's like, if you're streaming for 11 to 12 hours a day, and you need to sleep for, let's be a generous 6, how many, when are you programming your game? Like, when are you taking care of all these ferrets at your ferret rescue? When are you, like, what? It just seems like the amount of claims are just, like, at minimum exaggerated.
Which is kind of common because people don't know how to handle them and then they get afraid of hands. It's like a normal thing. But she's fine with humans. She was terrified of animals. It was very strange. And it's weird, especially with being afraid of other ferrets. It's very odd, right? So.
Okay, so now what does this have to do to tie into your quote-unquote internet drama? Because that's why you brought it up.
So, it probably a neglect situation where she was just left in a cage with another ferret and learned to be afraid of them, because it's all learned behavior. They're super social. So, but a couple of weeks ago, she suddenly started coughing, and it turned out she had Hodgkin-like lymphoma.
Okay.
Which is hyper-aggressive cancer. It killed her in about 2 weeks. There was no way out. Couldn't save her. Couldn't do anything. We normally get months for that. We can do chemo, all kinds of stuff, but it just killed her. And going into, like, how that ties in with stuff is we've got people that are really pissed off at me over, like, World of Warcraft from about 100 days ago. It was on January 14th.
Okay.
And they're mad because I ran out of a dungeon in Hardcore WoW.
Well, I guess now at least he's admitting that he roached, because before he was like, no, I didn't do that.
Specifically because our group was wiping.
Thor, can you turn up your volume some?
Is it?
Weird to say 100 days and not a few months ago. Yeah, that is an odd way to measure time.
I think that's as loud as it can go. Let me see if you can do it on this one.
I should probably specify, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, a hardcore World of Warcraft server means that if you're, like, your character dies, they're dead. And so, like, these are characters that people spend years and years and years playing with and leveling and gearing up and doing these incredibly difficult raids at an incredibly high level of play. And him running away, the reason the party was wiping was because he was running away and not playing the game well. And then he threw a hissy fit because people were pissed at him because they lost these characters that they had spent so long working on, and then they got kicked out of the server because that's the rules of the server. If you die, not only do you lose your character, you don't get to play anymore. So please tell me why Thor's emotional attachment to his elderly rescue ferret is more valuable than all these people, their entire friend group, the server they play in, and the literal hours and hours and hours that they've spent on this character and in their group and their group friend relationships. Because that's what he's currently comparing. And the answer is that's a shitty thing to do. You shouldn't compare stuff like that. Everybody has emotional attachments to things.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, let me see, because it seems like you're pretty
I'm
quiet.
almost redlining on mine.
Hello?
I
Can you hear me
kind
now?
of want to bass
he's
boost
he's
my
quiet,
audio.
right? Yeah, so he's saying he's jacked up as high as he can go. So should I
That's
turn
weird.
my volume down?
Did this guy just pick up the phone to figure out how to rebalance his audio during a live stream? Oh my god. Fucking 2.9 million subscribers? Are you fucking with me right now? Why are we taking this person seriously? Oh my god. Technical difficulties happen. I don't mean to... Alright.
And just tell Stream to turn up the volume? He's jacked up to 200% on Discord.
Well, that's weird. Is it your headphones?
Okay, I can try to do that. Let me.
They're saying that I sound good on your stream.
Yeah, he sounds
you
fine
sound
on the
fine
screen.
to me. Let me see.
So he sounds fine to you and sounds fine to the stream. What are you fucking with? What is happening?
So they're saying I find volume is good. Okay, they're saying he's fine. So I think we fixed it. You're both low as usual. Okay, cool. Thank you, chat. I don't know. I think he sounds buttery smooth, dude. Like butter.
That's super funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so this whole thing started with like World of Warcraft Classic
Okay.
back in January. And
Okay.
as part of this thing called OnlyFangs. And you kind of meme around, you make characters, but it's hardcore. So if your character dies, you lose it forever. But it's a character in a video game, right?
You meme around it. Oh, yeah. So, like I said, his value and his time and effort that he's invested in this ferret is more important than the time and value that that all these people put into their relationships and their work in this World of Warcraft shit. And again, this is not the only issue Thor has. People have had issues with Thor from before this.
We're doing this dungeon, and the call was made to run, but it's kind of before that. Is we did the dungeon before that in a group, and we failed, and it was like, oh shit, everybody's running, everyone's freaking out, and we all made it out alive on that one. So we decided to go back in. Probably shouldn't have done that. When you have a group that falls apart like that, you probably shouldn't do it again. But we went back in.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with you or anything else. It's the group. It's everybody else. Yeah, okay. So he's still not fucking admitting it. He's still trying to obfuscate the stupid World of Warcraft issue.
And on this one, a poll was made that was way too big. We weren't ready for it. And then all of us fucked up. Like every single one of us did, including me. And I talked about it online for it. But there was a pinnacle.
You talked about it online, as in you blamed everybody else, said everyone else fucking sucked, and that you were the one who, before the raid, you were like, I know what I'm doing. Don't worry, guys. I'm playing this major support that's gonna be able to keep everybody alive, and I got all the big brain plays, and then you roached. And then you fucking roached. You abandoned ship and left everybody to die.
Moment where one of the guys said, run. So we all ran. Because you're letting a guy be a shot caller.
Did we all ran?
As I ran, he goes, why are you running to me? And I'm like, I could be a dick right now and be like, you told us to run, right? I could just...
That wouldn't be being a dick. That's not the part that would be being a dick. If your shot caller said run and then said to you specifically, wait, why are you running? And you said, didn't you just tell us to run? That would be a reasonable thing to say. That wouldn't be being a dick. The question is, were you supposed to support everybody while they ran away and then you move instead of just bailing without casting and doing your support job while everybody's trying to get out? Is that more likely what happened?
Like, reflect that, be like, what are you talking about? Like, you did that. And I was like, what do you want me to do for you? Right. And I said, what do you want me to do for you? Look at
Everybody messed up, including me, but here's how me messing up wasn't my fault, and what a good guy I am.
because it was mostly out of mana, but I had resources that I could have done for it. And I tried to make like kind of a light of the situation, and I was mostly irritated. It was an irritation response, not like a real accurate response. And it turned into this massive meme. And there's people in chat getting banned for it right now, even. So for over 100 days now, there's people that spam.
Why are people getting banned from your chat? For what? What are they saying? That you roached? You're banning people? He's gonna have an honest conversation, but he's gonna ban anybody who brings up the internet drama we're all here to talk about. Why are you doing the interview then? Just don't understand. I had mana, but there were things that I had no mana, but I had some mana, but I had resources, but I didn't use them, but I could have used them, but they told me to run, but they didn't tell me to run. What the fuck?
Mana gem, and you're out of resources, and run away from your friends, and all this kind of shit. And the thing that's crazy about that is, tying back into the ferret stuff, is when Ghost died, my YouTube got littered with comments saying Ghost died because she was out of mana.
Oh my god.
That's the shit that I'm getting every day now, because these aren't people that give a shit about World of Warcraft.
That is mean. Oof. That is a mean thing to say. You should not tease people about the death of their pets. That is not a nice thing to do, everybody. That's bad form. Don't make... You leave pets out of this. It would help if Thor left pets out of it, but listen, don't sink to his level. As not a nice thing to say. Shame on you.
They're not people that give a shit about those characters. They're not people that care about any of this stuff. They just want to hate me, and they're doing everything they possibly can to do that in the most vicious and fucked up way I've ever seen.
If that's the most vicious and fucked up thing you've ever seen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but welcome to the internet. That is not exactly the most vicious the internet can be. Don't get me wrong, that's a mean thing to say. And they are in fact trying to bully you. That's bullying behavior. That is not the worst thing that could happen. It's harsh, but a little bit funny. Yes. Yes. It's a little... Yeah.
And it is thousands of people. It is not a small amount.
Yeah, I'm gonna press X to doubt on the claim of the amount of people doing it. And I think you also might be misrepresenting the criticism. Black Spider said, for context, what the normal way seemingly could be was to make sure everyone else got out of there too. He instead just ran away, not looking back and claiming the whole time, I have no mana. But apparently he did have mana. I don't know.
Of people, it is thousands. And I get this shit every day. And then there's people that come in and they go, oh, it's so funny. I just said mana in his chat and I got banned. It's like, yeah. We've banned 50,000 people on Twitch alone for this.
You're banning people because they said the word mana? I feel like there's a time obfuscation going on here. He's saying... There's 50,000 people in a day on Twitch alone? What are you talking about? That can't be possible. There's no way. Like, what? Or even if it's 50,000 people in a month, and you're banning them because they said the word mana? Bro, you're a video game creator. You make games and talk about making games. Lots of games use mana, and you're banning people for saying the word mana in your chat? How do you have anybody in your chat if you ban 50,000 people? This is what remember when I said earlier when he talked about like the hours of time he spent with his ferret, and I was like, I'm kind of starting to doubt this because I think he just kind of lies about numbers. He just throws shit out there and he just kind of lies. This same thing. This is the same fucking thing. Oh my good god.
50,000 accounts so far.
Sorry, I think what I was saying. I think there's some kind of time obfuscation going on here because we've got like this quote unquote 100 days ago, and then he's saying recently his ferret died, which means he was banning people for using the word mana before his claim about what people were saying about the ferret dying. So, can we get an actual clear picture? Could our interviewer please ask for some clarification? Like, you're not just gonna nod along with this 50,000 number, are you?
For that. And about 14,000 have gotten unbanned because they put an unban request because they're like, oh, I didn't realize it was that big of a deal. And it's like, dude, this is crazy. It's been going on for over 100 days now. I think it's like, yeah, so it's about over 100 now. And it's not just that, it spiraled out into other things where people made all kinds.
The obfuscation here and like the crossing of the hairs about like the ferret dying has nothing to do with this World of Warcraft thing except you're getting shitty comments about it.
Kinds of wild ass accusations on me. They tried to say I was a pedophile at one point because I had a friend back when I was like 19 and they were like 17. We're still friends today. We're both almost 40. And they tried to make up allegations about the two of us, and she had to come out, or he had to come out and say, like, no, this is bullshit. That never happened. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So, like, we keep getting, like, these... basically, I got gish galloped for a while, where it's like...
What does that mean?
Shitload of weird... gish gallop is like, I say a whole bunch of lies about you, and you can't respond fast enough, so it looks like they're true.
Okay. That's not... I don't know anything about any allegations about pedophilia. I haven't seen that anywhere, so that one I don't know anything about, so I won't comment on it. But that a gish gallop is a debate tactic because the other person doesn't have enough time in the debate to address all of the claims that you made. Some of those claims might be true and might not be true, or might be accurate or might not be accurate, or arguments that are being made. That's what a gish gallop is. You can't gish gallop when you keep... It's not other people gish galloping you when you keep getting yourself into shit over and over and over again. That's just you tripping over yourself and falling down the stairs and being mad that there are stairs and blaming other people, saying, hey, he keeps falling down the stairs. That's... Gish Gallop is specifically named after Gish. Used to do this. You know you could just take each issue and address them as individual issues, right? You have, like, Thor doesn't have a small platform. He could just be like, alright, I'm gonna address a bunch of this shit. Here's this one thing, here's the address. Here's the next one, here's the address. You're not on a time limit, dude. You're not on a time limit. You can address nobody. It's your channel. I have shit tons of people making up shit about me all the fucking time. And I, pick my battles about which ones I'm gonna address and which ones I'm not. And sometimes I address them and sometimes I don't.
Basically the way that it felt. So it was like a whole bunch of like weird...
Oh, that's just how it felt, not how it is. Okay.
Weird. Gish Gallop is like, I say a whole bunch of lies about you, and you can't respond fast enough, so it looks like they're true. Is basically the way that it felt. So it was like a whole bunch of like weird accusations all at the same time, as quickly as possible.
Well, they're all weird, so I'm just going to dismiss all of the accusations and not identify the difference between an accusation and a truth. Here's the thing, the people making fun of you for mana aren't wrong to make fun of you for mana. They're correct. You did that thing. You admitted you did that thing. You're blaming everybody else. You're refusing to take any kind of accountability for it, but you did it. And everybody knows you did it. Now, should they be bringing up your dead ferret? No. They shouldn't do that. That's not a nice thing to do. You should leave people's pets alone. But the issue of people saying or talking about mana long before that you've banned, before even the death of the ferret that you're trying to loop all this into, as if that's reasonable and isn't, like, emotional manipulation at its peak. And then trying to, like, fucking shove it in, like, that goes in the square hole! Like, Bro.
And it's weird because when you fight against them, I found something that's really odd to me is I've never seen this before on the internet. Normally, when you ignore stuff, it kind of goes away. You can't ignore things now. If you ignore something...
You've never seen this before? Is Thor new to the internet? Is he new? Is it first day on the internet, kid? What do you mean you've never seen this before? Are you serious? All this... Okay, alright. His argument at this point as to what's going on with him is that he is just flat out first time on the internet. I don't know how anything on the internet works. That's his argument. It's sorry guys, I'm just stupid. I don't know anything. Holy shit, dude. No fucking way. Please, chat. Please tell me people don't buy this. Please tell me that nobody is buying this horse shit. Cause like, I got a bridge to sell you, my friend.
That people immediately think it's true. And when it's serious allegations like that, you have to respond. So immediately responded to it, shut it down.
This is a long You've never heard the phrase that lies travel faster than truth? You know what a gish gallop is, but you're out here being like, oh, I've never heard of this or seen this before? It's got a name! I mean, you would described it incorrectly, but the concept has a name named after a guy who did this in debates for years. You're citing him and then saying, I've never seen this before. I feel like I'm taking green one.
When I did that, there was a very large number of people to go, no one thought that was real anyway. And then there was a whole nother group of people to go, oh, you're fighting it, which means it's true. It's like, where is this coming from? It's like the most...
It's coming from you. The criticism is from your behavior, and because you don't address it directly, and you don't address it clearly, then it doesn't go away. And some things will never go away all the way. You just have to deal with them as best as you can. That's how it works. This isn't new. This isn't some fucking big philosophy invention that's just showed up just for him. No. You have to address these things, and not everyone's going to agree with your address. You can't please everybody, but you're sitting here saying that you expect that you should be able to. Damned if you do, damned if you don't situations are real. If you want to mitigate the damage, you need to hire a PR firm. Good God, dude, this isn't hard. The problem isn't that you don't, that whether or not you do or do not address the allegation or the claims that are against you, which are weird and unreasonable, when you already admitted that the one you brought up for World of Warcraft is publicly available. Anybody can go and look up and watch exactly what you did in that fucking World of Warcraft scenario. You can't gaslight everybody. And then you're like, I'm glad I gaslit everybody, I obfuscated everything, you all just need to believe me, and if you don't, you're a shitty person. And I'm banning you from my chat for daring to bring it up. As if, like, so what part was addressing it, Thor? Was the part where you were banning everybody the part where you were addressing the issue? Is it the part where you were trying to gaslight everybody to claim and rewrite what happened? That everybody could go and watch? You're confusing criticism with trolling? You know, for somebody who supposedly likes to talk about social engineering a lot, you seem to not fucking... when it's happening to you, or not happening to you in a way that's positive for you, you seem pretty... like to claim ignorance pretty quick.
It's the most whiplash, strange behavior that I've seen on that stuff pretty much ever. And it kind of freaked me out, man. But yeah, it's invested internet trolling. Yeah, I think it's the most invested that I've seen with this kind of stuff. It reminds me a lot of...
What? The most do you not know who Chris Chan is? Are you serious? You don't know Sonichu? You want to talk about invested in internet trolling? Kiwi Farms exists? There was an entire fucking publicized, globally spoken about lawsuit involving Johnny Depp and Amber Heard where internet trolling was actually a major factor being discussed in the courtroom. The phrase #AmberTurd is in the court records. Again, we're back to Thor has decided that his defense is he doesn't know anything about the internet. And I don't know if that's a really good way to fucking do this. I mean, fuck. Jesus Christ. Even like in the gaming spheres, there are bigger stories where trolling and attacking people have gone on. A Dream, like Minecraft servers where there's like these massive troll farms. There, like this. I mean, do we know that Thor didn't like do it on purpose? And then it backfired? Like he talked a bunch of good game, fucking bailed on purpose, and like just fucking shit on this whole server's thing out of like spite or to like generate drama on purpose for attention? Do we know that that's not the case? I doubt it. I think he's just dumb. But like, what are we talking about?
Of like Coney 2012, which is just like they've absorbed into their personality that they need to kill me by whatever means, right?
What? Huh? I need a drink. Put a beer in the freezer. Oh my god. What the fuck? What? What? People have it. What? You are not fucking serious. I would like to point out that Thor has been speaking uninterrupted for about 15-ish minutes, and the doctor, psychologist man hasn't said shit yet. Holy fuck. And then he said, Coney 2012? Are you comparing your... What? What? Coney 2012 was about a man who was kidnapping and creating child soldiers. And then you... What? I am gobsmacked. How... Is this interviewer not listening? What the fuck? Are you serious? You said you've never seen anything like this, and now you're saying it reminds you of something. What the fuck?
I think it's the most invested that I've seen with this kind of stuff. It reminds me a lot of like Coney 2012, which is just like they've absorbed into their personality that they need to kill me by whatever.
People have absorbed into their personality that they need to kill me? What people? Who are you talking about? Go to your local authorities. What is fucking happening right now? What an absolutely insane... Like, I don't know. I don't know if this is like, is this paranoia? Is this paranoia mixed with like I'm super duper important in everyone else's life? Like, I know that there are people who watch me and absolutely hate me, and that's fine. And there are people who are really, really parasocially attached to things that I do and that I say. But I'm not like... How did you come to this conclusion? And, like, I received death threats. Like, that's something that happens. Like, I've gotten death threats before. It's not new. But... And there are channels that are, like, out there that are way more focused on me than they should be. What?
Means, right? And when I say kill, I mean it. Like, I've gotten swatted over this. I've had weird...
Oh, has he? Has he been swatted? Do we have a citation for that? I would like to... I'd be curious to know if that's actually true. If, like, he's actually been swatted. I would be curious to know if that's actually true, so I'm just gonna dump a citation needed, please. Again, I haven't seen anything about him being swatted, so I'm not saying what he's saying isn't true. I'm just saying that I don't know about that, and so if somebody's got a citation for me, let me know. I guess I could just Google it. I guess I just search it. Hold on. I've seen too many people lie about being swatted. I mean... Let's try pirate software. I'm not seeing... I'm not seeing that. I mean, he's saying... How many did he say he got?
When I say kill, I mean it. Like, I've gotten swatted over this. I've had weird phone calls to my phone where they're trying to, like set me up to try to get me arrested and all kinds of shit. I've had death threats, thousands of death threats over this, which is just insane.
I don't believe you. I'm at the point where I don't believe you. There's no verification for this. There's no... I'm looking for it now. There's nothing in here. He's claiming this, but there's no... Like, he's live for 12 hours a day. When the fuck did you get swatted? Like, like... Like, there's, like, shit like this. That's like, I'm no longer working at off-brand games. People were attacking all of the games we were publishing. None of the games currently worked on by off-brand are having a massive review bombing. The only game that is having a review bombing is Heartbound. But, like... And at the same time, Heartbound isn't fully, like, doesn't have any proper release to it. So, like, it's reasonable for people to have waited years for a game and then have that nothing come out for it and then review bomb it. Because that's not even a review bomb, that's just accurate. And, like, part of this is, like, all you had to do was, like, correct the fucking information and stop being an asshole to everybody, and, like, maybe people would be nicer to you. Because that seems to be his actual problem. He wants to be treated like he's special, and when people don't treat him like he's special, he gets mad. Yeah, I've seen enough people lie about being swatted on the internet that I don't just believe that claim at this point.
And, it's weird, man. Like, I've never seen this kind of vitriol over something that's just so not a big deal. And for
You think it's not a big deal. You don't even... This is the Vic Mignogna problem again. He's not actually addressing the criticism. He's addressing a straw man of what he claims the criticism actually is, and he's misrepresenting it. The same way he's misrepresenting what happened with the World of Warcraft server, the same way he misrepresented what's going on with Stop Killing Games, the same way he misrepresented the criticism that he's received around misrepresenting Stop Killing Games. Same thing. It's a pattern of behavior.
Such a long period of time, too.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious. So first of all, that sounds insane.
It is.
Yeah, it does. Bizarre, strange. His telling of this seems unreasonable.
Yeah.
Like, I've certainly seen that there are people who I don't think people on the internet realize how much power they have to really like mess up someone. So there's this perception that, okay, if you're like successful or famous, that, I don't know if this makes sense. It's like almost like the things that you have going well in life are in the same HP pool as the psychological attacks. But that's not how it works. Right? So like I can have a really, really, really strong biceps, but that doesn't protect me from like Hodgkin's lymphoma. Like it just, like the dimensions.
This is a terrible analogy.
A human being, and maybe people understand this, right? So like you can have some dimension of your life going well, and if some other dimension of your life like goes really, really bad, there's a certain amount of resilience that carries through with like the human body. But generally speaking, having a great relationship doesn't make up for a toxic boss. It can help you withstand it. And I think the other big thing that people don't really appreciate is that, like, when someone has an emotional thing that happened to them, like it sounds like you lost a ferret that you were very closely attached to and had sort of connected with, and when they kind of like attack you in that way, like that's very like hurtful.
Yeah, they know. They know that that's hurtful. They're doing that on purpose. I don't think that's in question. Like, yeah, correct. That's the.
Well, I mean, it's intended to be, and like, I think what it came to is like, I can identify that and be like, okay, this is an unreasonable attack, right? There's kind of like reasonable attacks for like, hey, I'm upset at you for like legitimate reasons. This is why I'm upset at you, and we go, okay, cool. We either resolve that,
but you don't, because you ban anybody who says the word mana in your video game stream tag chat.
Don't resolve it, and we kind of go from there, right? And then there's unreasonable attacks, which I think that is an unreasonable attack of like going in and be like, your ferret's out of mana, that's why it died. Like that's designed to just it's designed.
I'm starting to suspect that not the number of people that he claimed posted this actually did. We're gonna find out that like one person spam posted it 3 times and then mods deleted it, and that was it. That's because like I'm starting to think this man might exaggerate a little bit.
Designed to get in your head. It's designed to fuck you up. There's no someone trying to fix a scenario there. They just want to hurt you, right? And so I kind of package those in different ways. But yeah, no, they still hit you. There's no dodging that.
So what I'm kind of curious about, Thor, is like, so first of all, I don't think that
I mean, sure, but when you misapply it to something else, that's not reasonable. Or try to wipe away all criticism that you've received from World of Warcraft by saying this person said something mean about my ferret in referencing it is not. That's a deflection. That's weaponizing an emotion to deflect from legitimate criticism coming from other people that are completely unrelated to whoever it was that said this thing about the ferret.
Going through is, I guess, justified.
It also doesn't mean that people have made it their personality to want to unalive you. That's a really big fucking stretch.
I mean, it's not my place to judge, but also like,
it would be equally as mean to say that, like, for example, like, oh, the ferret went to work at Blizzard in the Sky. Like, that could be mean, that could be nice, depends on the context and who's saying it, right? Like, who's saying it matters. The context around how this thing came about matters. That could be a nice thing that somebody's saying. I don't know.
It sounds like what you did was, I'm still not quite sure. You made a snide comment and then ran away in a hardcore dungeon?
You made a snide comment and then ran away in a hardcore dungeon. This dream is from 2 months ago, and this dude doesn't even know the World of Warcraft shit that went on? Okay. Okay, I was being charitable earlier to Healthy Gamer GG, but now my charity has run out. This is unreasonable. Why are you talking to Thor if you don't know anything that's gone on in the last year? At least. Like, why are you here?
I made a snide comment as we were escaping the dungeon, and 2 people died in that runaway.
Okay.
And that was it. And then all the people in 5. This is the funny part. The person who made the rude comment to me at the first place, it was like, "Why are you running?" He ended up getting.
Why is that rude? No, hold on. That's not how this was presented at all. Did you guys catch that? The interviewer asked, Dr. K asked Thor, "I'm not entirely sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying that you made a rude comment and then ran away in a hardcore dungeon?" And Thor turned it into, "This other guy said a rude comment to me," which was not even close to remotely the original claim. The original claim is he's the shot caller, told people to run, I ran, and then he asked me why I was running. So, what? What the fucking bait and switch going on here? Good God.
And some other drama with it that I don't even know what happened, and I stepped away from it because I was like, I don't want to deal with any of this. I'm out, right?
I don't want to deal with any criticism, so I'm not going to deal with the criticism, and there seems to be some other issue going on, but I don't care. I'm going to ignore it and hope it goes away. And now I'm going to cry that it didn't go away.
After all that shit. But what ended up happening right after that was it just exploded, man. Like, it just detonated into the sun of just, like, people being... I feel unreasonably angry, because to me it's like, that's a character in a video game. We just go make new characters. And So you just don't care about anybody else's feelings in the matter, or the sense of betrayal and backstabbing that's involved in those types of relationships, because you don't value those things. And you're telling other people that they're wrong for valuing those things because you value your emotions more than anybody else's. That's all this is. Me, fuck you, me. Somebody, listen, if somebody really wanted to troll Thor, they should be sending him the orange lantern ring. That's the type of fucking, that's some top tier trolling. What's mine is mine, not yours. Good fucking God, this is pathetic. 0 empathy. And you just... The whole point, the whole motto for that entire...
He has 0 empathy from other people, or for other people, but is demanding that everyone give it to him.
Thing was, we go again. Your character dies. You
yeah, so I think that this is where things get like if you're...
Then why did you run away, Thor? If it's just a character, and you can just make a new one, and it doesn't take however many hours of getting gear and leveling up and speccing your character to get whatever it is that you want out of your character, why did you run away and not give up your character to save somebody else? You don't value your character and they value theirs. Why don't you care about this friend that you're playing with? It's almost like you're just pulling that out of your ass. Good fucking... No wonder people are mad at this guy. He's fucking infuriating. Like, he speaks and he just says the worst possible thing.
Open to talking about this. Like, I think it could be helpful, because I think there's two things that can be true at the same time. One is that the amount of hate that you've received is not acceptable. That, I think, is true. Like,
why? Why? You said you didn't know about what's happened. So why do you think that's true? Because Thor told you so? Thor claims that he's gotten death threats over this, and so you just believe him by fiat? This is the difference, right? When you're a professional, and I'm going to draw this distinction here because this guy claims he's a professional. Is it psychology? When you're a psychologist, it is your job to assume that the person you're talking that is talking to you and has come to you is telling you the truth. It is your job to assume and make those assumptions. So that makes sense. This isn't a private session. This is an interview on the internet that was streamed on Twitch and YouTube. Negligence. If you're going to do this, you need to know what the fuck's been going on. And if you don't care about characters dying and just starting again, why are you even playing in a hardcore server? Why are you getting people to rely on you just to roach on them and then tell them that they don't matter? Because that's what you're saying. You're telling these people that have spent hours and hours and hours to collectively do this thing that their time and their feelings and they as people do not matter.
Like, in this moment, I believe that to be true. Like, that's not okay. And the way that you are describing the story and the response that you got, there's a big gap there.
No, there isn't, if you actually listen to what he said. If you actually listen to what he said, clearly, Thor is clearly demonstrating why he's the problem. And why people are irritated at him. And why people are giving him fucking a lot of pushback. And why he's quote-unquote getting hate. Does that mean he should be getting death threats? No, you shouldn't be sending people death threats. Do I think people should imbibe in their personality that they want somebody to be unalived by any means necessary? No. But I just don't think these things are true.
That I think does not... So even if it's unfair, it seems like there's something missing to evoke. So what I'm thinking is, like, if there's a hardcore raid and people die, sometimes there's a weird situation on the internet where it's like Tinder catches fire and then things get blown out of proportion.
Sure.
So there's absolutely like an unfairness to that, but I'm also imagining and thinking about my experiences on the internet. And the way that you're describing it seems... So there's no question that things are, like, objectively, in my mind anyway, maybe I'm wrong here, but there's no way in my mind that you deserve what is happening to you, because I don't believe that someone getting death threats is warranted for anything that happens in World of Warcraft.
Okay, I mean, I can agree with that if you believe what Thor is saying is true. It comes off of the caveat, which is why it is problematic that this guy is going into this interview without knowing what is going on. Good God. Yes, Thor should not be receiving death threats. That's not the criticism. That's not the topic. That is not the point. And it's the obfuscation that's the problem.
I just don't think that's like... I cannot... envision a scenario in which those 2 points get connected. And at the same time...
I do understand the route that it carried, though, and I can't explain that. Anyway.
Yeah, so because I think that, like, the nerve that you... So what I'm getting is that you struck a nerve. You really pissed a lot of people off. and running away in a hardcore wipe, like a hardcore raid that is wiping, I do not think is the nerve that you struck. Does that make sense?
No, it was the fact that I was.
Yes, that makes sense. What he just said makes complete sense. Like, the wiping isn't the problem. The running away isn't the main issue. That is not the main criticism. Nail on the head. Thank you. Well done. Well pointed out. Appreciate. Good. Fantastic. Love that.
I was smug on the way out because I made the comment that I made was made with a smug face, right? Because like at that point it was like the group had already wiped once.
So then you're saying no and then agreeing? You're saying no, it's not, but that doesn't make any sense, but here's why that's correct?
We were in the process of wiping again, and I'm like, dude, like, everybody who's involved in this is screwing up. Why are you calling out just me specifically? I'm going to make a smug comment in response. And then it turned into, this is just this guy's fault. This is just my fault. Shouldn't have made a smug comment for it. Know that, obviously. But the response for this to be 100 days of this and all these crazy out.
No, that's not the issue. He's still got the issue wrong. He's still got the criticism wrong. Again, this is the same thing with Vic Mignogna, same thing with like fucking Nick Rokita. These people do not grasp what the actual criticism is, or they refuse to grasp whatever the criticism is, because then they would have to address it directly, and addressing it directly would mean that they'd have to admit to the fact that they did something wrong.
Allegations being made against me, doesn't make sense.
So you are
literally alleging that people have made it part of their personalities to unalive you. And likening it to Coney 2012, dude. The person making fucking egregious allegations against people is you. Good fucking God.
How did you made the smug comment on stream?
Oh yeah, no, all this was live.
Okay, so this was live. And then was there some kind of aftermath? So usually when this stuff happens, it's like, if things go to Twitter, that's when people, I think, really dig themselves into a hole.
No, it didn't go to... I posted a post on Twitter saying, hey, this is all this stuff. I said in there, like, hey, this, everybody screwed up, including myself. This is everything that was going on.
You gaslit people and lied about the situation and then tried to blame everybody else and then banned anybody in your chat that was critical of you.
And that was that. And I have the post, if we can go pull it up. Let me go grab it. Whoop.
So what I'm curious about is the people who got mad at you at the beginning. I'm not talking about the death threat, folks. The people who got mad at you at the beginning, what were they mad about?
They were mad that I was being smug. That was like the general initial catalyst for it. The problem was, what I ended up seeing is a whole bunch of content creators, because this is a content guild, they took a whole bunch of clips of me to make it look as exaggerated as possible, and then turned...
Oh my God! Wrong. Wrong. You're wrong! Do I need to pull it up? Do we need to pull it up and watch what actually happened? I think we should do that. I think we should watch what actually happened. Oh my God, somebody made an somebody animated it. Oh, that's very funny. Here, let's use this clip. Let's just play this. It's 4 minutes. I'm gonna play it uninterrupted. If this ends up getting cut later, for whatever reason, I'm gonna let this roll so you guys can actually see what fucking happened. Because like I'm not gonna fucking comment on top of it. I just want you guys to be able to see it. So that way we can so he can stop gaslighting and we can see what actually fucking happened here.
Boss is coming too, watch out.
Yeah. Well, I got shield wall. God damn
Run,
it.
run.
Just run. Can you tell you, dummy?
I can target them, yeah. Should I do it?
Just kill the massive. Yeah, target them, man. Kill the massives.
No.
Aussie, are you fine? Any grenades,
I got last
anything?
stand. You can just
Heal
kill
him.
Yeah, you just heal me. Just come back a little bit.
Boss on me, sitting bear form.
Snuppy, just run.
I can help a lot. Yep.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
What are you talking about? Why am I walking?
This
Look at
is
my mana.
savageable. Come
Innervate
on,
you?
man.
Just kill the mastiffs.
Innervate.
Innervate the
Nova,
healer.
bro,
Kill the
come on.
mastiffs. We got
He
this.
heals.
In the sense of
War something?
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
just kill the mastiffs. One shot. Okay, we
More
pulled
than
another
more on the way,
pass.
more on the
Run
way.
now.
Ice Nova.
The mastiffs can be ice novas.
Dead, I'm dead.
Now we're gonna wait.
Nusara.
No.
Okay, get out.
Run.
Evocation's on cooldown, man.
I can taunt last
How much mana is
moment of
Ice
peace as well.
Nova? There's no that much mana.
You have a boss in you. You called run.
Getting slowed.
Fuck. Wait.
Anything for me?
I can-
Snuppy. Oh,
I
no.
don't think... I cannot stun him. Also,
No,
are you
just
good?
run. Just run out. Run out.
Are you good? Also,
boss-
Mods
came
was
up
at $1.76.
Fuck.
They called
The boss
run.
came up after,
I
like, the
ran,
Masters
and I was
too,
out of mana.
after we,
I don't know what the hell they were expecting, dude. That does not make any sense. No, they overpulled 2 pulls and the boss. Like,
Fuck.
no.
Oh no.
I mean, the regular ogres can still be polyed. We just had the boss and like 5 mastiffs and 2 ogres. We could have polyed 1 ogre, killed 1, and then walked it out.
yes, literally, just even an Ice Nova would have been enough.
You guys pulled that when I had.
You instantly ran out, bro. You instantly ran. You didn't even look
As much
back.
as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
I'm not angry at all.
You
I'm not angry at all.
overpulled 2 packs. You overpulled 2 packs and a boss.
I'm sorry, I know I wasn't gonna comment and interrupt this. This condescending fucking ass, as much as you're angry right now. Oh, dude. Oh, motherfucker. You're asking for it.
I had 1,400 mana left. I had to spend all of that mana to try and put it on Blizzard to save you guys in the first place, and nothing left. You weren't paying attention to party resources, you overpulled, and you weren't paying attention to where the boss was. That's not on me.
I saw the boss coming. I don't know if we could like move back faster, but yeah.
But there wasn't even
Damn.
like any like information. We are just yapping about useless stuff. Do you see my point?
I mean,
not
yeah.
on me.
But I mean, I called the boss coming though, but at that point, maybe it was too late to move back.
Like you're telling me like a rank 1 mage would not like at least to try Frost Nova there. Like you're not even like in danger.
Oh, I'm
can at
100%
least
in
try a
danger.
Frost Nova. Like,
100%.
No, you're not.
No, 100% in danger. When your shot color says run, it's time to run, you run. That is how that works. You were the shot color, you called for run, I ran.
I'm not a shot
And
caller.
I was out of mana.
Actually, I'm a noob, bro. I
You
think I
called
have
the
way
shot.
less experience than you have.
Oh, dear God.
And I can still see that I can at least use a Frost Nova there. Or at
Okay,
least try
then
something.
go roll
You
a
were
mage
the
and do
first
it.
person that ran away and didn't even look back. Literally.
This
You-
is the
you didn't even
second
say
time.
anything.
This
You
is
could
the
have at
second.
least said like the boss.
You're
were
just
there.
gonna talk
You're
over me?
yapping
Is that
about
what we're
useless
doing now?
stuff. Well,
We're just gonna
No, you're interrupting him, Thor.
talk
my
over me?
point.
Is that all? Is that all
I'm
we're
just
doing?
giving you my points.
No, okay. You done giving your point? You good?
Yes. I'm done.
Okay, cool. You go roll a mage then. See you around. Jesus.
I don't think that's.
Insane shit. No. That is outrageous, dude. You can't blame me for that shit. You make a bad poll, you make a bad call, that's on you, not on anybody
Yaflid
else.
donated $69.69 to charity.
They give the $69.69 to charity. You're awesome as hell. Yeah, no. They pull that with the mage at no mana left, and they pull 2 packs and a boss. What the hell am I supposed to do for them? I could have Frost Nova'd, and the boss would still run him down and kill him. It's not on me. Not at all. Insane shit to see that. Yeah, it's just him trying to blame somebody because he doesn't want to blame himself. That's a mistake on them. And I'm not going to get blamed for that. Not my fault at all. Yeah, not at all.
Maybe, Thor, the criticism is that you're a fucking liar.
That into content all over the internet, and they kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Since there's so many content creators pushing it at the same time to try and get as many views as possible, it pushed this narrative, and that spiraled it completely out of control.
People saw the thing that happened and everyone came to the same conclusion? Yeah, it was. Was that our Helios?
Not at all.
Where? In the chat, right? Where? Where? Oops, I made it big. Where? Oh, you got a screenshot of it? Oh my god, I hope that is. I hope it is. It was the chat that went through. What, was it near the beginning? There it is. Nope. Where? I gotta find the dog. Gotta find another dog. I'm gonna find it. Sorry. It's not there. Where is it? Yeah, look at him! Look at him fucking zoom, dude! Look at this. Look at this. He fucking... Oh my god. Look at this. Oh. Right. Here we go. He starts running, he's running, doesn't even turn around once. Doesn't cast a single thing for... How long was that? A minute? You know mana regen is a thing. Good god. It's at the end. There it is. Hey, I do hope that's the Helios that hangs out here sometimes. Helios, if it's you, hi.
And when I say making content out of it, one of those creators actually had his child on video with the face blurred out say, "Pirate software is a disgusting roach." Like, this is wild shit. And that's not a small creator. There's like thousands of viewers.
Bro, they literally watched you do it. This is like saying I didn't run through the street naked and then mad that for content you and your friends streamed and recorded you running through the street naked, and then you're mad that everybody's like, "Hey, he ran through the street naked." Like bro, it's oh my god.
Viewers, right? So you see this kind of shit and you're just like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, why are you doing this? I get it. That's why I put out the video of like anything for views. And it's like, dude, I get that you're trying to do this for views, but you're doing it to cannibalize people around you in the same space as you. That's
literally not true. You're the one who let people die, dude.
Not sustainable long term. Maybe they don't care that it's sustainable or not, but that's fucked up. I don't think there's any other way I can describe that, is to try to cannibalize some other creator so you can get a quick view. Is nuts to me, man.
What are you talking about? That's not... Oh my fucking god.
Especially because throughout...
He's such a fucking liar. Oh my god.
Then I was trying to do things like, hey, let's go make content with this other creator. I was sending our community over to other people. Like one of the people that actually turned around and just immediately tried to turn it into memes and views and everything like that and try and go in on me.
Because it's memes. Now you're mad that people are making memes and jokes about like the thing that's funny and ridiculous. Like this is the problem, not the fact that the fact that this thing happened is generally the type of thing that everybody can laugh at after the fact. The problem is nobody can laugh at it after the fact because you keep lying about it and being an asshole, and now you're the one making unreasonable accusations about everybody else who saw all of the same thing happening. Dr. K's face, yeah. I think it's a mistake for Dr. K to have not watched the 4 minutes. Like, it's a mistake to have not watched this 4-minute, 5-minute video before doing this interview.
He had the whole community go over there and gave him a level 25 hype train. Like, just, hey, you guys should support this dude. He's a smaller stream. He's got like 100 viewers. Go and support him, and everybody
Oh,
jumped
now they owe you?
over there and get. It was like $20,000 in a hype train, dude. And then immediately switches around and does that shit. And it's like, what? Like, what's wrong with you?
You literally stab them all in the back, and you're mad that people aren't taking your side.
Yeah, so I know this is going to sound weird, Thor, but like I'm getting some missing qualities here. Have you heard that phrase? So,
yeah.
Do you know what missing means? The missing reasons. So I mean, we can take a look at your Twitter post if like. So I think we've actually got a couple of options here. So like I enjoy talking to you. I like you. I respect you. I think that sometimes streamers make mistakes, and at the same time, I think that something about what you're describing,
the kid gloves that Dr. K is using to talk to Thor,
feels like there's a chunk that's missing. So I
think
totally,
it's because it's all disconnected, timeline wise.
okay.
Then why are you disconnecting the timeline?
I guess it's hard to describe each individual piece. So the event inside of that dungeon happened.
Yeah, I agree, Feline. I noticed that too. He says, "Oh, it's like the missing thing," and Thor goes, "Oh yeah," and then he goes, "Do you know what that is?" And he says, "No." Why did you agree? Why do you just pretend that you know things that you don't?
Then afterwards, I got brought into a call with the person who called me out. I left the call because he was shouting over me, and I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm not going to
That's a lie. That's not what happened. We literally just watched it.
fight with you. I don't want to deal with it. And I left. So that kind of made that more. And then content creators started to make a big deal about it. I started to receive death threats in the game from other players. And I said on stream, I'm going to start reporting people for doing this shit. I'm going to go after them. That got clipped.
You're going to go after them? What does that mean? What does it mean? You already said you were going to report them, so how are you going to go after them outside of reporting them? I don't think there's a problem with reporting that. If people are sending you death threats, you should report it. Yeah, that's fine. That's standard. Correct. But what do you mean you're going to go after them? So you made threats. So people threatened you, so you threatened them in return.
Sent out onto the internet. And then when people sent that out on the internet, they tried to say that I was going after other streamers. When in reality, I was going after the people who were sending me death threats, and the only streamers that I reported were ones that had done things like...
So you did go after streamers. So you went after streamers, but because you said this other thing about something else, you're saying that people are lying, then admitting you did the thing? People are lying when they said I went after streamers. I never said I was going after streamers, but I did go after streamers. Huh? What? Nothing this man says makes any fucking cohesive sense.
Said on stream, I'm going to go to Pirate Software's community and harass him because I think it's good content. Saying that live on stream, which is like 2 or 3 people. And I don't think that's a wrong thing.
Which is like 2 or 3 people. What?
To report. So they clipped that one. And this all kind of got spread onto Livestream Fail and all these little pieces out of context. I guess the basic way to think about it is, imagine you're driving your car.
What's the lack of context? You said you were going to go after people. You went after people. People said you went after people. What's lacking context? That people don't agree with you? People cannot agree with you and have the full context. Just because they don't agree with you or just kowtow to everything you say doesn't mean that they're fucking not listening. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the everyone's dumb but me. Right? It's the if you don't agree with me, you're either a troll or you don't understand what I'm saying. It's that mentality, and it's a bad mentality. It's a really bad habit to just assume that people who disagree with you or don't like you because they're trolling you, or they disagree with you because they're trolling you, or they disagree with you because they don't understand what you're saying. Sometimes people can understand completely what you're saying and still disagree. But here's, and Feline's right. He's not providing proper context either. He could just do that. He could have done that ages ago if it was actually a contextual issue. But what he's actually doing is he's complaining that the context went out everywhere. That 4-minute, 5-minute clip is like everybody, he's complaining that everybody saw that and then made commentary on it, and everybody came to the same fucking conclusion, but they don't have context. How? How do they not have the context? You're complaining that the context went out there. What's out of context?
And there's a guy sitting in the side seat. And he handcuffs you and takes control of the wheel. And you just get to watch the car drive. And no one will listen to you saying, hey, I'm not driving the car. This isn't accurate. They don't listen to that.
Don't pretend that you don't have a voice, dipshit. Thor is one of the largest creators on Twitch. If I pull up Pirate Software right now on Twitch and I look, he's got 1.1 million followers on Twitch. He's not he has a voice here. He's trying to pretend that he has no control and can't say anything, and people are blaming him for something he has no control over. We literally watched you. That's you! And this is after he's lost some. It was more than this before.
That anymore. They just see your car driving in that direction. So they've taken full control of the narrative at that point. And I can't do a damn thing about it. And that's what happened on Livestream Phil. And we get that all the time now too. So like anything that I do on stream, this will probably be clipped out of context and put up on Livestream Phil as well. I'm not really surprised if something like that
What context? Unbelievable.
is. And they'll bring it up and go and do that kind of stuff. Yeah. Does that make sense? Or there's still more?
I would love to hear what else there is. And I think what bothers me the most about this is making sense for me on two major levels. One of which I think is, I'm just debating now for a second, because I think one of the things that I'm starting to hypothesize
is that Thor's a lying fucking liar who lies?
I just really have to think about this.
All right.
Could really add fuel to the fire. So I have to think about whether I even want to mention that or not. So let's start with just getting more context.
You figured it out, did you? Took you 30 minutes?
Sure. So after all that Livestream Fail stuff went off, eventually it started to kind of fall away. But then anytime anything happened with Livestream Fail, anything, or at anytime anything happened with OnlyFans, the guild, I'd get blamed for it. They would think that they thought it was part of some kind of a narrative that I would show back up, and it was like a bit. The whole thing was a bit, and all the hate was a bit.
Why were you still going to hang out there? What? You had the audacity to still try to be part of the guild after the fact? Jesus Christ, yeah, they probably thought you were full of shit.
And I was like, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm out. I don't I got kicked from the guild. I don't want to deal with any of this. I don't want to be a part of this.
Did you leave or did you get kicked? Because those are two different things. And yeah, here's the statistics. His stuff is down right now, which, makes sense. But.
And then somebody actually DDoSed Blizzard in the middle of one of the OnlyFans raids to kill the raiders. So they DDoSed a multi-billion-dollar company, which is wild. Like,
bold claim, but okay.
That's crazy to me. So they DDoSed that, and then I had a ton of people dive into chat saying like, "Oh, you did it. Why did you DDoS OnlyFans? Why did you go after OnlyFans?" And then I found out Asmongold made a joke about that, and he was like, "Oh, it was probably pirate software." And it's like, no, that has nothing to do with me. And I said it on stream. I was like, you can't make those jokes. People believe them. They just believe it. And it's
people aren't allowed to make jokes now, I guess. Okay.
it's not everybody. Most people realize that a joke, but some people just believe that shit and then they run with it. You know, and that's kind of where that's gone. Yeah. It's one of the most disturbing things that I've seen. And in my chat right now, we're actually banning constant. So this is definitely already up somewhere.
What are you banning people for?
People that come in and say, like, calling me a roach because the act of running out of...
Because you're a roach. That's accurate. I don't know, fucking Jesus Christ, dude.
Dungeon is called roaching in the game. Still 100 days. It's been 100 days. People that are spamming...
Yeah, and if you fuck a goat one time, you're a goat fucker. It doesn't matter if it's 100 days, and it doesn't matter if it's 1,000 days. Sorry, you did the thing. That's who you are now. You want to know how you get rid of the fucking title or the label of being a roach? Spend years playing the game and not roaching, and apologize for roaching. That would be like, shit, yeah, no, there was if you would handle this by being like, shit, my bad, there was miscommunication, I should have done this differently, fuck, that's my bad, I'm really sorry, guys. This would have all been unbrushed under the rug and nobody would have cared. But no, you're a condescending dirtbag about it, and you're lying about it 100 days after the fact, and then trying to tie it into some emotional appeal to one of your ferrets. Like, what the fuck? And also accusing people of making it their entire personality to want you unalived. This is absurd.
Gem, which is the resource item that I could have used in the game at that time.
Oh, you had an item for mana, so your entire excuse for I don't have any mana, you in fact not only had mana and also had a gem to restore your mana, so all of those ice frost things that you could have done to assist your team in retreating, you didn't do that you could have done? What does this have to do with explaining what a roach is and why you're banning people for calling you a roach when you're a roach?
Just over and over again. See, they're just getting banned constantly. It's just like a constant stream of bans right now, and I knew that was going to happen.
How do you understand that?
How do I understand what?
Why that's happening so much?
What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand.
Why do you think people are coming into your side chat and calling you a roach all the time? Why do you think that that's happening? Why do you believe that people are doing this? Oh my god. But Chesh, his dad worked for Blizzard, and so did he. Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. How do you understand why people keep showing up? You're saying it's happening constantly, right? You're saying that...
it happens if I talk about it. It happens if I don't talk about it. This is every day. It's just more right now because we're talking about it.
Right. So I understand that it happens every day. It sounds like it's like awful. I don't think you deserve this. At the same time...
Why not? I'm curious to know why does Dr. K believe that fucking Thor doesn't believe that Thor deserves to be called a roach? I'm just curious as to why he believes that. Or is that something he's just saying to keep Thor talking, do you think? Magicus makes a good point and says, counterpoint, the mana potions are just too pretty to drink.
Think that if we want to, we can try to understand it. Is that interesting to you?
Sure. I mean, I think I do understand it. I think it's
what do you understand?
I think it's become a popular thing. I think that's really what it is. It's become kind of like a signpost on the internet, like, hey, stop by and do this thing because it's funny. And I get that.
So now you are saying that it's not even harassment, it's just people memeing because it's funny, which has nothing to do with like it being targeted or harassment at all. It has to do with it just being a joke.
Like, I understand that. You know, it's because for a lot of these people,
So-
they've never engaged with their community before. They don't know who I am. They're not really interested.
What? How do you know that? How do you fucking come to that conclusion? Based on what? Unfucking real. Unbelievable. Yeah, he's in the headspace of everyone's dumb but me.
And who I am. They just want to pop in and say a thing and then get banned. And that's it, right? And some of them are chat hoppers from other communities, from creators that don't like me from that event and have created negative content about me.
You know, people could not like you for other reasons and still use the roach thing.
So they're doing that, and they come over from that community and they think that that's part of it, you know? Or they want to be a part of that in some way. Some people describe it as parasocial within the community, but to be real with you, I think it's just people that want to be part of something. And if that something is just hitting me, like, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat as Dr. K right now. Okay, this is a lot to unpack.
Can you show me that? Do you feel okay? So, like, is this what we're talking about today? Like,
I mean, I guess.
I mean,
You want to know how things are going. This is it.
Okay, so I think this has the potential to be great. And the reason for that is, like, I think that there's a lot that everyone who is watching right now can relate to and understand.
No. I'm a little bit offended. I'm a little bit offended by that. As somebody currently watching this. Do you guys relate to Thor being a fucking liar who lies and can't take any fucking accountability for anything that he does ever, as he arrogantly, condescendingly shits on everybody else? For daring to disagree with him? I hope not. No. No thanks. Absolutely. Here, hold on. I have a thing for this. I have a thing for this. I should fix that so it doesn't do that anymore. Oh god. Let me There we go. No. God. I had exactly this attitude when I was about 4 years old. How dare we point out how he did a scumbag thing that scumbags do. Good lord. I also get the vibe that we're going to get to the 40... Everything after 45 minutes onward is going to be Dr. K trying to speak to Thor, and it's going to be like pulling teeth.
The thing that I'm concerned about is that I'm going to challenge you in some ways. And the main thing that I'm concerned about is how the way that I challenge you could be clipped out of context, misconstrued, used as evidence that...
I mean, you are doing this on a live stream, yes. Okay.
Thor is the worst human being on the planet. Does that make sense? Like, I'm actually, like, genuinely concerned about that. That, like,
I almost guarantee that it will.
Right, so then I think we have to make a decision about... So I think that there is a way, I'm hopeful, but I don't know. I think there is a way that if we have this conversation, it can actually decompress a lot of the emotional energy that's on the internet. But I think
No,
a lot of...
talk about it.
Predictions in the chat. You guys think this is gonna decompress the energy?
Because like it's, I'd be down to talk about it. Because to be real with you, it's not really changing anything at this point. Like the route of trying to ignore it, the route of trying to talk about it, the route of trying to reason about it.
It's because it's not about it, Thor. It's about you and your behavior and your attitude towards everybody else.
Done pretty much everything that I can think of at this point over like 100 days. And like I've sent over to Kronos, if you're there, I sent him the tweet so he can get it over to you.
Okay. Let me take a quick look at this.
You're in a Discord call. Just send it. You're in a call. What? Just send it in the whatever technical issue.
Because I think this is like, I'm really sorry you're going through this, and I think that there's a lot that we have to be careful about. And also, I think the reason that we're here is to try to have some challenging conversations. So can I actually, while I'm waiting for that tweet from Kronos,
I understand what Dr. K is doing. I don't know how much I'm gonna wait to see more of this before I decide on whether or not I agree about this. At least the first, what I've watched up to this point is only enabling Thor up to now. I don't know if that's going to continue on, or if Dr. K is just placating Thor and to establish a comfort level to be like, hey, listen, I'm on your side and I'm here to help, but let's get through this. The problem with doing this in the way that Dr. K is doing this is that it is a massive mistake for him to be going into this conversation without actually having known what actually happened. Had he done, Feline's got it, the due diligence. Had Dr. K done his due diligence at the beginning and watched even just the 5-minute clip, even if he just watched that would give him the context to actually be able to help Thor more effectively, if his goal is helping Thor. But now we're in a situation with why does Dr. K need to bend over backwards to cater to this massive Twitch streamer who has done a lot of fucking shitty things to people? Like, what? Like, because now Dr. K needs to explain himself. Why did you do this? What was the goal here? Why would you go into a conversation like this with the intent of helping this other creator and then not know what's going on with that other creator? How do you expect to help somebody? By patting him on the head and being like, don't worry, if I talk to him long enough, he'll figure out that he's lying. Like, what? I'm gonna reserve judgment a little bit until we get a little bit further into this, but this is certainly not the way I would handle this.
I'm gonna go grab
But he's a professional and I'm not, so what do I know?
iPad, because I think drawing here could be helpful.
Oh my god, guys, we gotta break out the Photoshop. We gotta break out the MS Paint. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, do it up. Actually, I need to find out if Kronos is here. Mods, in the emergency channel, is Kronos here? Buh? Is Kronos not here? Here,
I'm just gonna go get my beer.
Let's do this. And I can send it to him in this channel, because I don't know if he's actually here. There we go.
I'm sorry, but I cannot get over the fact that this man literally said that there's a number, like a sizable Coney 2012 level number of people that have made it their part of their personality to want to unalive him. I'm not going to get over that. And the fact that Dr. K hasn't addressed that at all to me is a little bit problematic. And I think that not only does that need to be addressed and needs to be addressed directly, but also it's the fact that it's been so long since he said it makes me think that that's almost way too long of a time to have let that hung out there.
So, this is going to be interesting.
Chat is talking about the chair stream.
Feline in the chat said that if I was the one doing this, Thor would roach. Thor wouldn't be able to handle talking to me. Guaranteed he wouldn't be able to handle talking to me.
You just got to experience.
I know. It's great. So let me see if I can pull this tweet up. And then I'm gonna just switch.
I mean, I also understand Dr. K not necessarily wanting to get into the weeds of like what exactly happened, because that's not the point, right? It's not the point to like, it's not, Dr. K is not out here trying to be like, no, I'm gonna prove everything that Thor is saying is wrong, or that let's actually watch what you claimed happened, and then like let's actually talk about what is true and what isn't. Like, I think that would be effective. I think dealing with somebody who's like lying like this, is confronting them with the words they actually said, is an incredibly useful tool, both for viewers like who are wanting to learn and do better, and potentially for the person being like this is what you did. This is what you claim. This is what you did. But like direct confrontation isn't necessarily like it's half a dozen the other, right?
I'm gonna switch overlays for a hot second. Okay. And Thor, let me know, the second that this feels like not a good use of our time, please let me know.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So
Totally makes sense.
This OnlyFans stuff actually sucks. Lots of weird attack posts.
There's a couple of links in there as well.
Yeah.
That go to the original like posts about this stuff. I think you need those for context.
Okay, so let's take a look at that. And okay. So to start with, here's my...
I don't really know why we're going over the tweets, because it's like it's just him reiterating and stating the same lies over again.
Response to the Dire Maul roll. From my perspective, I didn't feel I could save anyone else with the resources I had left, even with the mana gem and robe cooldowns. Since the call was to run, was made, I followed the call and got out as quickly as possible. In every other instance where stuff has hit the fan, a shot caller is called a specific target, and nobody died.
Left even with mana gem and robe cooldowns.
You call run. Okay, Yamato pinned the entire thing on me.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how I felt at the time, and I still feel that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Our
of course
party
you
went
do.
wrong. Each person in the group made mistakes, including myself, to pin on a single person. Okay, hope it was worth it for you.
I hope it was worth it for you. You notice that nobody's... I haven't seen anybody that I don't think Yamato in the video that we watched, like in this one, blamed everything on Thor. Thor was just claiming that he was trying to explain on a technical level what had happened and what he had seen. And then Thor is saying, you're just trying to blame me for everything. And that's literally not what he did at all.
Okay. So this was live on stream, right?
Yeah, all of it was live. Absolutely.
And so it was also live who made the call to run?
Yes. Yeah, he made the call to run.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like here's the hate raid that you're talking about.
I do get a little bit of a kick that for some reason, unique to Thor, run means turn around and don't look back and don't cast anything at all and just fucking yeet yourself out of there, even though you are literally playing a Frost Mage whose job is soft CC and hard CC to slow enemies down, and that maybe it would be reasonable to, when the call is made to run, for you to cast a spell that would slow the enemies down to make it easier for your allies to run away. I don't know, man. Go figure.
Okay. So, thank you.
Yeah,
so
Dr.
much
K
for-
has figured out that Thor is bullshitting. At least I don't think he knows how Thor is bullshitting, but he knows Thor is bullshitting.
And that's why I wrote in there, I was like, those trying to defend me, don't worry about it. We expected that to last like maybe 10 days. The internet generally doesn't care about things a super long period of time. 100 days?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
so
In chat, like spamming and getting banned and like
I'm kind of curious about this 100 days. Why is he latched onto this framing of framing it at 100 days? Like, I don't quite grasp why he's attached to that. Is it because he thinks the number sounds big or long? The internet never forgets. Yeah, there's something about the internet that I've learned in my time on the internet, and something I've known for a long time, is that you can never tell the internet what it's going to like, but you know what the internet doesn't like. I just don't know what this 100 days is about. Like, why is he latched onto this?
That's wild.
This is
I've never seen
you were right. This is wild.
You've never seen
that's
a lie.
Understand this.
There's no way you've never seen drama last longer than 100 days. There are people that are still mad that JonTron has bad or like wrong opinions about political stuff that he mentioned one time. Like, it also doesn't help that you don't let it go either, and you are doing interviews where you are lying about it, thus keeping it in the fucking sphere of influence.
Okay, so God, this is going to be tough. Okay, so let me start with this. So let's say that you do something, right? Let's say you take an action in life. In the response, would you agree that the response that you are getting is disproportionate to the actions that you've taken?
Would you agree? I don't know if interesting phrasing. Would you agree as opposed to, so you believe that that's the case?
I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. So let's
It doesn't mean I was in the right. It doesn't mean I was in the right. But I do think the response is disproportionate.
I'm with you. Okay. So I'm going to start by,
I don't think it's disproportionate on an individual level, to be clear. I think each person...
You literally said there was a number of people on the scale of Coney 2012 that made it the part of their personality to want you unalived. And you're saying that on an individual level, that it's not that out of proportion? You claimed you were swatted and got a bunch of death threats. What the now you're backpedaling? Why are you back?
This guy is unfucking believable.
An individually that responds with that thinks that they're the only one responding with it, or that they don't feel like it's that big of a deal.
You said it was harassment and people were sending people over to go and bother you, and now you're completely saying that that thing that you said initially is not true? You
This is just one person, and they don't understand scale.
Okay. So I concur with that too.
They don't understand scale? It's their responsibility? It's... Oh my god.
So let's start with a couple of like really basic things. So the first is, I do not believe, this is a judgment that I'm making, you're welcome to disagree, but I think the majority of people who are on the internet, I would hope, can agree that something that happens on a stream involving a hardcore raid does not warrant a death threat. That's my first axiom, okay?
Sure, we can agree to that axiom. I agree with you guys. Agree with that axiom. I agree with that axiom. One in the chat if you agree with the axiom. Two of you disagree with the axiom. People shouldn't be receiving death threats.
Second thing is that
I would hope so.
even if we think you're an asshole, that the amount of psychological punishment you are experiencing is, at this point, sufficient. So I would encourage everyone who is watching this, listening to this, if shit gets clipped out of context, and because I think this could, go wahoonie shaped real quick. Please, if y'all are disseminating information about this conversation, please include this part, which is that we're all human beings who do the best, generally speaking, that we can. Do people make mistakes? Absolutely. Are you allowed to get mad at them? Absolutely. Should you do death threats? No. but also I want everyone who is a hater on the internet to really stop for a second and think about what the hate does to you.
You started with the axiom that the psychological punishment that Thor has faced up until this point, which is 2 months ago, which May 2nd, 2025, is sufficient. I'm gonna need some context for that. What the fuck are you talking about? That's because if it's sufficient, that means it's justified. And if it's sufficient, that means it should stop. There shouldn't be any more. Right? Also, framing criticism and people memeing and making a joke inherently as hate is not accurate. Right? But it's kind of, is it just me, or does saying that death threats are unacceptable and then saying that the psychological attacks or the psychological suffering is sufficient inherently justifying the death threats? Watching Chesh balance on the edge of sanity is quite entertaining. I'm sorry. No, don't be sorry. It's I'm doing a balancing act right now. I'm just like the things that are I don't. You think there's a switch going on here? Yeah, I think there is. I think you're right. This is an odd. Yeah, conflations. Yeah, this is equating people making jokes at Thor's expense. How appropriate those jokes may or may not be, right? Like, there is something to be said about, like, really dark humor, like, you know, saying like, your ferret died because it had no mana, which is dark. That's a dark joke. And I don't think you should go to his chat and say that. Like, don't, that's mean. If you had said that, like, in a Discord privately, like, that would be funny. Like, I'm sure there are people making jokes about, like, I lost a pet a few months ago, and I probably wouldn't think it was funny if people came and made jokes about the death of my pet in my side chat, but I'm sure there are people somewhere else making jokes about it that I'm like, I don't care, go ahead. Like, make jokes about it, it's fine. But, like, those are definitively different things, right? And, like, there's also a difference between, like, making a joke about somebody or at somebody's expense or about a scenario overall of an ongoing, like, thing isn't necessarily hate. So I'm not buying what Dr. K is selling me. I'm not buying this what seems to be a bait and switch from quote unquote psychological, what did he say? What was the phrase? I've forgotten it now. Psychological psychological punishment. What you're gonna have to, like, establish what that means and what level of psychological punishment is sufficient for what action. Like, you're setting up a scaling system that I'm not gonna I don't buy. Both from a from a philosophical standpoint, that doesn't really make any sense. Right? So it's like, for example, like, if I steal food, how many times should I be whipped? Does it depend on how much food I steal, or does it depend on the value of that food or the quality of that food for how much I should be whipped? And so, how much should I be punished for what I've done? And the other thing is that the psychological punishment being sufficient implies that he's admitted what he's done is wrong and isn't doing it anymore. Because if he keeps doing it, it means that the punishment needs to continue to keep up with the amount that he's doing it. This is a bad axiom. Right? This is a bad axiom. Does my justification for stealing come into play with the amount of punishment I'm receiving? Right? Dr. K is really trying hard to not trigger him and cause him to become defensive and to keep chat from triggering anything. Yes, he is. Absolutely, he is absolutely doing that, 100%. I think that he needs to if he wants to continue the conversation, but I would probably posit that Thor is already defensive. Thor came in being defensive, right? So, like, Dr. K is trying to pull... One of the reasons why this stream is so long is because Dr. K has to pull teeth. He's got to pull Thor out of this inherently defensive... A couple of years ago, I did a stream where I did this style of conversation with somebody. It was 7 hours long of me it took me, like, 3 hours to even just get this person to engage into the conversation to stop being so defensive. So, like, I suspect, like, I've seen this kind of thing before. I do, again, my criticisms of Dr. K would probably all but eliminate, like, be gone if I didn't watch the first 2 minutes of Dr. K hedging his bets and telling me how much he doesn't know anything about the situation. Unless he said something along the lines of, hey, listen, I specifically avoided knowing the drama on purpose because this is what I want to do, then I would have accepted that. I might not have thought it was a good idea, or I might disagree or agree with doing that method, but that's not what he did. Yeah. You keep banning people over nonsense. Yeah.
Is, at this point, at the amount of psychological punishment you are experiencing is, at this point, sufficient.
I don't agree with this axiom. And I'll just briefly say why. Just to be clear, because I think I kind of got off on a tangent. I don't agree with this axiom because if you were to set this axiom up and to say that that's true, if Thor keeps doing the thing, it means he deserves, and it is justified that he should still be continuing to receive psychological punishment. Right? And so Thor, at this point in time, is still lying, still gaslighting, and still engaging in the behavior, meaning that the punishment can only be sufficient up until before this stream. So even if you agree that up until the stream, this punishment is valid and is sufficient, he still needs to be punished for the stuff that he's done up until this point on this stream, and then if he continues to do so, that punishment needs to continue based on this axiom. I don't agree with this axiom. I think this is a bad axiom. That's why.
So, I would encourage everyone who is watching this, listening to this,
because this axiom actually encourages people to continue to attack Thor and continue to, quote-unquote, psychologically punish him. Which you're also going to have to define, like, what is psychological punishment? How is it psychological punishment? In what way is this doing X, Y, and Z? We're not going to get into that right now, but that's a conversation for another time.
This, if shit gets clipped out of context, and because I think this could, go wahoonie-shaped real quick, please, if y'all are disseminating information about this conversation, please include this part, which is that we're all human beings who do the best, generally speaking, that we can. Do people make mistakes? Absolutely. Are you allowed to get mad at them? Absolutely. Should you do death threats? No. But also, I want everyone who is a hater on the internet to really stop for a second and think about what the hate does to you.
I'd be curious to know if people think that this is a hate stream. As far as my knowledge of Dr. K goes, it does seem to be a practice of his to avoid any and all internet drama that may involve content creators he does/might interview in order to remain neutral. I don't think that's neutral. I think that that's fake neutrality. trying to talk to somebody about their situation and their psychological state without understanding the context of what's going on, I think does a disservice to the viewership, and I think it does a disservice to the person you're interviewing.
Right? Like, you're hurting another human being, but like, for what purpose? Like, I think it's just kind of, it doesn't make the world a better place. I know that.
I think that that's a stupid thing to say. Why do people do hate things or hate on people? Because it doesn't do anything it doesn't make the world a better place. We hate on Hitler. Does hating on Hitler not make the world a better place? We hate on Trump. Should we just not hate on Trump? We hate on pedophiles. Should we not hate on pedophiles? Social retribution shouldn't exist? Because that's what that is. There's you could say that, hey, the hate towards Thor is unjustified, but he's not saying that. And he's not saying that because then he would have to take responsibility and justify why the hate towards Thor is justified or not. Yeah, I did go with Godwin's. Yeah, I did. I went there. You said that people are justified in being angry, but they're not justified in expressing that anger. And the thing is half of the stuff that Thor says that he's doing in response is banning people who talk about it. Why is talking about it not reasonable? Why is expressing your anger by saying, hey, you roached on this, WTF, and then him banning you, unjustified? What do you want people to do? And the problem with this kind of situation that Dr. K is putting forward is that you should let people do whatever they want, lie however they want, and you shouldn't do anything about it. And if you're mad, you can be mad, but you shouldn't do anything about it. What's my take on his voice, the voice modulation? I mean, I don't really have one. I just don't think it's that important. I think it's silly. I think I think it'd be really easy for Thor to prove one way or another about his voice, and I think it's mostly not important. People want to present themselves however they want. I don't care if he does some gender affirming care and makes his voice lower. I think calling it second puberty and trying to bullshit around with that is asking for trouble. I think that Thor saying something along those lines is Thor asking for people to make fun of him. that's what that is. You're asking for it at that point.
In the moment, you feel like, oh, I want to put someone in their place. I'm he needs to be taught a lesson. He needs to be taught. He's like, oh my God, he did this, and and I understand those feelings. I'm not even saying that those feelings are wrong, but also I don't know how else to say this. It's just a bit much. I don't think it's actually.
You don't know how to say it, because if you were to say out loud the whole thing, it would sound really fucking stupid, because it's really fucking stupid. You're telling people they're allowed to be angry, but they're not allowed to vent that frustration. Then they're not allowed to directly tell the person who's frustrating them that they're frustrated. Because reasons. Except that you already set up the axiom that the psychological punishment is sufficient. Therefore justifying people venting their frustrations that you're now telling them not to. It's self-contradictory.
Helpful in the long run. You guys are doing all this crap to Thor. It's not clear to me that he understands why you're doing it. Okay? And I think that's the first place where we're going to start.
He doesn't. Thor doesn't understand. Because he ignored everybody, so people stopped trying to communicate with him any reasoning as to why they're doing it, and they were just doing it. Thor knows that he fucking roached, but he won't admit it and blames everybody else, so everybody else stopped fucking explaining to him, because he won't let them explain to him, and they just call him a fucking roach. And this is why Dr. K not looking at the context of what happened is a problem, because he's enabling Thor and defending him unjustifiably to enable him to continue to be a fucking shithead to people.
Does that make sense, Thor?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I can understand being mad about it at the beginning. Like, I get it. Your favorite streamer's character died, you know.
Fuck you! Fuck you! That's not the fucking problem. Again, he's trying to fucking just be like, you don't matter, your feelings don't matter, my feelings don't matter, your hatred is not justified, it's not important, blah, 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 blah. And the fact is, Dr. K, I'm making the prediction that Dr. K is just gonna let him do this.
Like, that's going to make you upset. I was smug about it at the time. I get it. You know,
you weren't smug, you were condescending.
The dungeon didn't go well. Everyone, like, 2 people died. Like, I understand being angry then. I don't understand thousands, and I mean thousands of people 100 days later still on it. Like, that's really weird to me. That's not something...
Yeah, I don't know how you've got anybody in your chat if you banned 50,000 people.
I get, right?
So this is going to be a little bit tricky.
See, I told you, he's just going to let him say that and then fucking move on.
Wondering if there's some way that I'm going to play around with.
Oh yeah, no, they're piling in now.
That's okay. So I'd encourage everyone who's watching this right now to just give Thor a break.
No! Why should we? Why should anybody give Thor a break? He's blatantly lying to everybody's face and telling them to go fuck themselves. Why should we give him a break? You just said the psychological whatever punishment is sufficient. So if he keeps doing it, it means we have to keep psychologically punishing him. By your axiom. Brother, why should we? Why should we let Thor spit in our faces for free? You gotta pay for that shit. Unreal. Okay, they're gonna go into a whole other thing now, so we've also been live for like almost 2.5 hours. So yeah, we're 46 minutes into this. I'm gonna see what they go into and then probably call a stream here.
Just a hot second. That's okay. So I'd encourage everyone who's watching this right now to just give Thor a break.
No.
For just a hot second.
In fact, I'm going to give him more of a hard time.
Don't just reflexively knee-jerk like, okay, like we're going to talk.
What? Don't just reflexively knee-jerk like, yeah, like he didn't just spit in everybody's faces. Bro, are you serious? Why should anybody take Dr. K seriously after something like that? I've never watched Dr. K before, and now I think he's an asshole. He's specifically going out of his way to over-cater to Thor while shitting on everybody else. For what? Why? Pretending to be neutral? Because you're not. You're over-catering to Thor.
Can you see this?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
It is now on stream as well.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so hopefully this isn't too laggy because I think I'm just doing a ton of screen sharing. And
my UI is not the best for this.
Okay, hold on. Then here's what I'm going to do. What I'd like you to do, Thor, because I think this is a bit too much for something going on with my capture. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, Thor, is... I
can't believe we're sitting here watching a streamer with 2.97 million subscribers who can't fucking smooth stream out of Discord into YouTube. The production quality is fucking insulting to me. Like, I find that insulting. Like, I haven't been mad about anything so far. This makes me angry. Good God. Spend a little money. Get a producer. Fucking pay somebody to do this for you. Get some fucking software. You've got 2.9 million subscribers. You can't afford to have something fucking functional? Unbelievable. All right, they're gonna go into an exercise, so I'm gonna stop there. I'll come back tomorrow to do some more of this. We're gonna cover this for probably the rest of the week, and then we'll be back with some other stuff. But holy fucking shit! I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand why Mr. K is doing this besides views. If he was actually trying to help Thor, he would go get the context. I don't know why he's deciding to shit on his own audience and shit on fucking everybody and just let Thor fucking say whatever the fuck he wants with zero pushback so far. None. He's had zero pushback on Thor. He's kind of tried, and I get that he's trying to use kid gloves and he's just starting to get into it, but like, it's been nearly an hour of you just letting this dude be an asshole to everybody, and you're fine with that. So so far I am unimpressed. I'll put it that way. I'm gonna cut it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad place. And fuck off. Don't subscribe. Don't like. Go away. Bye.